where does Vlad's three-point shot rank on that scale, and just how comfortable are you with this decision-making, picking and choosing spots?
To be honest, step-in threes, I thought we turned down a lot as a group yesterday. As far as offensively, we're searching for a rhythm and I guess a decision-making process that the decisions were made before the catch. And last night, I thought the ball stuck a lot. I thought we caught and looked for our own game. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for Vlad to shoot threes because fives gravitate towards the rim. And so the decision-making piece will be big. And even when we're playing with Vlad in that delay spot, that trail spot of looking for the actions, looking for the cutters, and then if they're not there, then falling into some isolation drives and some different levels of creation. So we're all still learning each other and diving into deeper, diving into different roles at a deeper level. So I wasn't happy with our flow last night, but as far as Vlad shooting threes, if it's a step-in three and he's open, he's gonna make it more than 1 out of 3 opportunities, and that's good enough to shoot it.
And when players go from like non-power forward to power forward, kind of like Danny and Vlad, I think there's a question about like a drop in production, but those guys, a lot of their numbers are similar, even better. It's just why do you feel like they've been able to catch up and not drop off?
Great question. I think the situation's different for everyone, and styles of play, system, and I know Danny coming from Yale, their pace was much slower, so his production might have been a little bit greater there when you factor in the number of possessions. Vlad, for us, he's probably even more involved here than he was there, just because of the way our roster's constructed. Last year we had a lot more smaller guards who were great playmakers by nature, so they would play make a lot more. And now Namari Burnett's really became a proficient scorer playing off of those guys. So it's a lot of it's situational. Part of it's their development. Those guys spend time in the gym, in the weight room, working on their bodies, whatnot, and so they're much better basketball players. And it's just the way the game, the way it's played out for us.
In the back with Charles.
Yeah, I know the conference schedule is always a grind, but it seemed kind of magnified coming off back-to-back overtime games. How can you use the next few days to prepare for Purdue, but also kind of get fresh?
That's the happy medium. We're taking today off. Hopefully the guys stay away as much as possible, and then tomorrow get back after it with a real solid plan for what we're going to see and what we need to do. And this is one of our longer breaks of the season. This is the most prep time we'll have. So we'll work on us. We'll work on Purdue. And at this time of the year, you're trying to fix problems because the teams in our league, the coaching in our league, is so good. They find some holes in what you do, and now we have to counter that and continue to get better.
Awesome. You mentioned fixing problems. You mentioned that yesterday as well. What's at the top of the list for you now that you have a sample size of some Big Ten games to look at?
Our rebounding has to improve. We've got to find ways to be more disruptive on the defensive end. We have to force a few more turnovers, try to find some easy baskets. But offensively, just playing, we have to screen better. We have to cut better. Most of us hadn't been in the Big Ten for a long time, so there's certain things that you forget. And I catch myself saying, "No, next fall, next summer, we'll work on this more." But we have to play much more physicality in our league. We have to adjust to the game better, and so we can't get knocked off our screens. We can't pull away from screens. We've got to be the aggressor when it comes to playing with physicality, and we have the size and bodies to do it.
Alejandro?
I imagine you haven't looked too much at this Purdue team, but Matt Painter's been in the league for a while. When you've watched his teams, what stands out the most about how he coaches up Purdue?
I think he's as good of a coach. I don't ever say anyone's the best coach because there's so many great coaches. And there's 360 plus Division I teams now. But I think Coach Painter's one of the best coaches in all facets. I guess you picture what great coaches are. He's a great teacher. He knows what he's looking for in recruiting. His humility, the staff he's assembled around him. Just he's excellent in all areas. And for him to have the longevity and build the type of program where they're this good every year is extremely difficult. They climbed the mountain and now they're they're managing to stay at the top of the mountain pretty consistently. So, I can't say enough good things. It's an honor to compete against them, and we look forward to going in there and seeing what we're made of.
I guess building on the Purdue question, you obviously had a long history with them. Is there a favorite or maybe least favorite memory from when you were in Indiana going to Mackey? Any date that stands out?
They're all bad. Those guys, that arena is going to be. We better have our hand signals ready. We better be poised. We better meet every pass. We better have our fakes and footwork on point. It's as tough as an environment as there is in the country to play in. I think anyone knows that. So anyone's played there, competed there, knows that. So we got our work cut out for us. But like I said, we're anxious to see where we are.
And then looking ahead, I know you can't look too far ahead, but 12 of the next 13 games the rest of the way are, I think 10 are quad 1 and 12 of the 13 are quad 1 or quad 2. Just, I mean, when you think about that and the Big Ten, what's coming, how do you sort of frame how you've looked, where you're at, and where you want to be?
It's exciting on one hand. The other side is our physical health, our mental health, our stamina. It's from a coaching standpoint, not to get too high, too low. From a player standpoint, to not be consumed with a good game or a bad game, and just continue to work, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and good things are going to happen for us. But if we get too low because of the way we performed individually or collectively, then that will turn into 2 to 3 to 4 or 5 losses if you're not careful. So I think we have to just have a real consistent approach to what we're doing, and just make sure that we're not beating ourselves.
Hey Dusty, what stands out about this Purdue team in particular?
The role definition. Braden Smith is he's a surgeon. His ability to make his teammates better, to make the right play. I was watching courtside when they lost to FDU in Columbus his freshman year, and to see his growth and back then, you could tell they pressed him the whole game. He was tired. He was winded. Now he never looks tired. He never gets sped up. You rarely see him make even a solid decision. He makes good decisions repeatedly. He knows what he's looking at. His ability to think the game, manipulate your defense. I could go on and on and on. And then Trey Kaufman-Renn, what a story. They have these guys go there with all these accolades and everything that goes with being a young player now who's really good. And they just become Purdue basketball. And now he waits his turn behind Zach Edey, who's an NBA starter. And now he looks like one of the best bigs in the country, one of the most efficient bigs in the country. So, and then Foster Loyer, I'm blown away at his development. He's gotten so much better as a player. He's more complete. He shoots it deep. He shoots it off the bounce from deep. He's mid-range. He has floaters now. And so it starts with those three, and then there's probably a couple guys on that bench that are playing a complementary role that we'll be talking about in a year or two in a similar fashion. So that's their culture. That's their, they have a real program.